Okay, hello folks. Welcome to the semifinals of the World Straight Pool Championships brought to you by Dragon Promotions and Cybers.com. I'm with Danny Baruti, one of New York City's finest and legendary straight pool players. Welcome, Danny.
Oh, well, hi. How you doing?
So, Danny, we have a great match here today with Thomas Engert of Germany. He's a many times European straight pool champion and German straight pool champion, and he's playing against one of the most famous international stars in pool today, Mika Immonen, who also has loads of titles to his name. What do you think about this match?
This is two terrific players. They're just phenomenal, both of them. I played a lot of games with Mika, and I got smashed once by Engert in a 9-ball tournament. I haven't seen him play too much, but Mika's very smooth, beautiful stroke. It just should be a terrific game. This is very exciting to be here, by the way. This whole event was very exciting, even for an old-timer like me. This was very electric.
Yeah, it's been a great event to produce as well for us. Dragon Promotions, really, my staff's done a really great job of organizing this event. It's been a lot of fun. We learned a lot. It's definitely a lot more to straight pool event than producing a 9-ball event, but we've learned a lot. It's been a lot of fun. The fans have been absolutely fabulous. We've had great sponsors. I'd like to recognize our official table sponsor, Gabriel's, for providing the tables, Aramith Balls, Simona's Cloth, Sardo Tight Rack, Cybers.com for their support and online coverage of the whole World Straight Pool Championships before, during, and after. And also, thank you to Randy Goldwater of New York City, our patron sponsor of the World Straight Pool Championship. Without his support, this event would financially not have happened.
Oh, yeah, most thanks to Randy. And the tables were beautiful, like you said. Gabriel's are a fine table.
I didn't get one complaint, my staff or myself, the whole event about the tables.
They're some of the best tables I ever played on.
And here's the lag shot. Looks like Mika won by a pretty large margin there.
Mm-hmm.
Engert checking to see if his cue ball was... Oh, wait a minute. That was just... Okay, sorry. He's going to use that cue ball to break with.
Players will have 2.5 hours to play the match at that time. The match will go...
So the race for this match will be a race to 200 points.
Players will be awarded extensions automatically if it's not called.
The format for a tournament originally was round robin, groups of 8 players. The top half, which is 4 players, advance to the final 32, which went to a double elimination chart, which races to 150 points. And then from the 32 players, the final 16 players advance to one final single elimination bracket, race to 200 points.
Very interesting format. It gave some of the weaker players a chance to survive into the later stages of the tournament. And some really strong players, I mean really strong, like Tony Robles and Jose Garcia, actually didn't make the cut. I mean, they were actually pre-tournament favorites to some people. And it just goes to show you the strength of this tournament across the board.
You mentioned that it helped a lot of weak players, but also a lot of the great players...
relatively weaker. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think this tournament really didn't have too many weak players in it, and also a lot of the players, the stronger players, mentioned that they like the format in round robin because if they played 1 or 2 bad matches, they could still catch up.
Yes.
And we saw that actually with Alan Hopkins in his group. He actually lost his first match because he forfeited. He didn't show up. He read the time wrong.
Yes.
And then he went on to win all his matches undefeated.
Yes.
And he defeated, in his bracket, in his round-robin group, Thorsten Holman and John Schmidt, 2 of the best players in the world. So,
well, Alan's one of the best players of all time, in my opinion. He's capable of doing anything, including misreading the clock.
Well, Mika's got opening shot here. Nice shot.
He didn't get any reward for that.
No, he didn't. And Engert he lost the lag of the opening break. He left Mika. I'm surprised he left Mika that great a shot for opening rack.
Mm-hmm.
I did that against Thorsten earlier in the tournament and off the break, and he ran over 100 balls against me.
Did you win the game?
No.
Oh. Well, you never know. I'm going to shut my cell phone off so in case you hear a funny sound.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I didn't win that match, and that's why I am here next to you.
Yeah, well, we're both in the same seat.
So what's Mika going to do here?
He's got an easy safe off the 7, but with straight pool, you like to push the envelope. You don't like to give up the table. So if he has a dead shot anywhere, he may try it. Also, before he plays safe, he has to make sure he's not leaving a dead shot. So he's going to be very careful. He's a very patient player, immensely talented, both in technical terms of playing straight pool and his stroke. He's got a very smooth stroke, very well grooved.
Yeah, a lot of players told me, fans, they said Mika Immonen's got one of the straightest strokes they've ever seen.
Really beautiful. I really hate him.
And you see his sponsors. He's Dragon Promotions and Mez Q's. He's one of the players that we proudly manage in our company. And he uses the Mez Q out of Japan.
Mm-hmm. How is that cue? I've never...
It's a very good cue, actually. I mean, I'm sponsored by Predator, and they... so of course that's my preference, but Mez makes a very good cue. And you can order a Mez cue with a Predator shaft on it. So you can get the best of both worlds if you want.
Pretty good safe. He left the cue ball down the rail. It didn't look like he created any dead shots for Mr. Engert there, but...
Predator was also the official cue of the World Straight Pool Championship, so I'd like to thank them. You see the big Predator banner there to the left under the VIP seating there, but they were big supporters of this event and most of Dragon Promotions events worldwide. So we got a little safety battle here early on.
Good safety.
So unless there's something dead, looks like they're going to be playing a little cat and mouse here for a little while.
Yes, they are. And notice how far they're leaving the cue ball from the rack, so the guys can't play off the opponents cannot play off the rack easily. They have to go to the rack and then off. But you could start taking scratches, to improve the position. Move the cue ball, press it up against the rack, take a foul, and maybe dislodge something a little so you don't get left back in that same situation. There's a lot of cat and mouse. He may try to drive something and stick the cue ball. Drive something to the rail, stick the cue ball to the stack somehow, and send something to the rail.
And like you said about taking scratches and playing that kind of a strategic play in the game straight pool. And I noticed that a lot with American straight pool players, especially, forgive me, the older players, that play straight pool for a long time, you would say maybe the traditional ways.
Speak up, Sonny, I can't hear you.
What I mean is basically it seems to me that there's a lot more strategic play with the game with a lot of the American players like Hopkins, guys like Rempe, Mike Siegel, Nick Barner, yourself.
Yeah.
You're privy to a lot of that stuff you've probably seen growing up.
Yeah.
That a lot of the younger players don't know about.
No, the old-timers were very hard players. They didn't give up anything. If they didn't like a shot, they were just going to play safe. They're going to take scratches and back scratch. They're very deliberate. And a player like Alan Hopkins is control-oriented in his game. If you ever watch Alan play, he has no overwhelming stroke, very slow, very soft game, very controlled.
Yeah, it's not a power game. It's not
at all.
Nothing loose or really free about it.
Nothing. And the next thing you know, you're watching a play, and he's got an 80-ball run going. It's amazing. He's so accurate, precise.
Well, it looks like Mika's got an open shot here.
Tough shot.
Oh, no.
Tough shot.
Wow.
Nice shot.
What a shot.
That was a beauty.
And he avoided the scratch?
Yeah. A lot of players, the old-time players, wouldn't play a shot like that. They would just feel it would be too risky. But another thing, this equipment is so good that you feel you can shoot it and get a good roll and a good bounce off the rails. This really was superb. I'm so impressed with. I was so impressed with it during the tournament.
Well, I tell you what, I've produced events around the world and so many events over the last 7 years that this is the first time I could truly and honestly say with their whole tournament and not one complaint about the table conditions, which is absolutely amazing to me. So these tables played fabulous throughout the whole event.
Yeah.
And Mika it shows right there, right at the beginning of the match, as important as his it is at the beginning of the match, he went for a tough shot where he had a slow roll.
Yeah,
And he went for it.
sure.
So these
And a
players
bank
know.
shot. He's playing very aggressively
Oh,
right
no.
now.
He got stuck in a rack, didn't he?
Speaking about the perfection of the tables and stuff, it's a little disappointing for me as a player because it took away some of my best excuses for doing bad.
Well, you didn't do so bad. You finished in the top 8, I believe.
Ninth.
9th or 16th. Okay.
Yeah.
So you finished in the top 16, which is not shabby at all. I think Mika just muttered "wow" under his breath. Mika just banked that last ball and went to the stack, and he got stuck there. Mika is one of the greatest bank shot players in the world.
Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Hands down in Europe, he's the best banker, and in the world, it's debatable if he's not the best. Definitely one of the best. What's he gonna do here, Danny? It's like
Well,
he's got
it's
nothing.
hard to tell because I can't tell what combinations might be in the rack because he's so close to it. Like the 5 now, he might have made that 10 ball dead. He doesn't look happy with the safety. Looks like he might have deadened that 10 ball.
Let's see if Engert's trying to figure out what he can work with here.
The players are both probably very tired after a very long week and a little tentative to take risky shots at this point. You know, the start of this match, it's a whole new ball game, sudden death for either one of them. And until they get a few shots under their belts and they can work into a groove, might be a little touchy.
Well, like I said, it's been a long week for these players, and they definitely earned their spots to get into the Final Four here in the semifinals. And Thomas Engert, he took a loss to Alan Hopkins earlier in the double elimination rounds, and he came back in the final 16 and eliminated Alan from the event. And Mika Immonen won a great match against Rausuke. I think he ran a over 120 balls to win that match.
Oh, wow.
So
that's the trouble with playing in these events. You don't get to see them. And your function was as tournament director and promoter was you did phenomenally well considering all the work you were doing.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Oh no, it
was a great experience. This was my first time I ever played in a straight pool tournament.
Yeah, you did fine.
Probably played straight pool, count on both hands how many times in my life, but it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot, and it was just very pleasurable for me to play against such great players, and it was just a bonus to be able to do well and finish in the top 16. So I know no one expected it, including myself, but sometimes weird things happen.
Yeah. And you're talking about what I said before about some of the weaker players. Well, some of these players that don't play straight pool did very fine. They played really spirited pool, and they're so talented in their other games that they play. It kind of showed all the natural ability in some of these players. Yourself and Dennis Orkula, who doesn't play straight pool, and he played a 3-inning game against me in the round robin. It was really a nice game he played. Beautiful safety. Ryan McCreesh, another guy, just started playing straight pool.
Uh-oh. He didn't want to do that, did he?
No, he didn't. And sometimes when you play safe and you thin it, you just shove something out enough to hurt you.
And Mika, he's going to pounce on this. He knows there's a big opportunity right here.
Mika will hurt him. Nice shot there. He used the combination because he had a ball hanging in the pocket. He used the combination out of the stack to break up the rack.
Versus opposed to he could have just made a 6 ball and went into the rack with a cue ball.
Yeah, but this way it was much safer because he was able to stop the cue ball. Whereas by playing the 6, he would have turned the cue ball loose into the rack. And then you don't know what would have happened. This way he shot the shot, stopped the cue ball, and he's off to the races. Funny little position here with the balls clustered near one pocket. That's not good.
Kind of a one-pocket game, looks like.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, he still has to loosen up the rocks here.
So what's gonna be his key ball here in the rack?
Key ball, I can't tell because he's like I said, he's got to break those clusters up, and you won't know how they're going to end up. I don't even know if he has a direct shot here. Once he breaks up that two ball combination, then we'll be able to tell. Looks like he'll be able to save the. Is that
The three ball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be the break shot. The key ball, I can't even hazard a guess at this point. He's going to have to just keep working on the problems in this rack and see how they develop. He'll have to improvise.
Two ball.
Probably draw straight back and play the 5 next. Ooh, oh. Damage control, let's see. Drove the 3 up a little high for the break. Okay. Nice the way he works it. Notice how nice and even his stroke is. He doesn't appear to be concerned about that 10-15 combination. And now depending on where the 10 winds up, he'll either use the 3 or the 10 for the break shot. Might even opt for the 3 in the side. Nope. Okay, beautiful.
Move back from
Nice
little
touch.
angle.
See how nicely he floated that cue ball back into position. That was really a nice shot.
That was a nice touch.
Yeah, that's a high quality shot.
And one thing about Mika's game, he's such a, like you said, such a fluid stroke, but not just fluid stroke, but he's got a fluid rhythm
Yes.
to his game. He doesn't hesitate too much, and once he gets into his groove, he's really hard to stop.
Yeah, he knows what his business is. I'm looking in the audience right now. There's a player sitting behind a pole dressed in white, and he's a 100-ball runner out of New York.
Oh, yeah?
And, he got knocked out. Here's a guy, I think he won 1 or 2 games, as good a player as he is.
Oh, what's his name?
Jim Gauthier.
Oh, yeah, I've heard he won a qualifier actually to get into the tournament.
Yes,
We
he
had
did.
qualifier in New York City that he won,
Mhm.
and as well as qualifiers in Holland and Germany and Philadelphia, Chicago. Oh, boy. What happened there, Danny?
Well, he came across the top of the rack, and the cue ball goes to the long rail, and that's actually a common scratch. It was aided and abetted by an unfortunate kiss in the middle of the table. But that scratch is actually a known.
Boy, he's not happy about that.
No.
That's 2 big opportunities now.
Yeah.
This didn't go his way.
That was an unlucky scratch, but it actually exists. It happens fairly often on that type when the cue ball is high. And
So
the
already
object
we've seen
ball
a
is high.
few big errors already from both players.
That wasn't that much of an error either. He just got unlucky. Wasn't like he missed the shot. He just caught a really bad break there in catching that second kiss. But it's there, you know.
Any problems in this rack, Danny?
Oh well, you look at the 10 ball up near the side pocket. That's always a problem. Clusters are a problem. He did that very nicely. At some point, he'll play that 8 ball up the table and use it to get into position for the 10.
One thing it looks like he got out of the way early is all the clusters, and
Yes.
now the balls are pretty wide open and playable.
Yeah.
And Engert is very experienced straight pull player, and not to mention 470 something ball runner in straight pull.
495. Is that the number?
I think it was 474. I don't know. I can't count over 400, Danny.
Well, hey, it's an amazing number. Me personally, I would have figured out a way to get those last 5 balls, even if I had to cheat. I would have done something there. I said to the people watching, "Hey, what's that over there?" and move the ball or something.
Well, I ran 141 and that was my high run, I think, in straight pull, and that was pretty easy to count.
That's easy. 10 racks in one.
What's your high run, Danny?
287.
287.
Yeah.
And how many 200 ball runs do you have?
A lot. You don't keep track of that. It's not that important.
Really? It's not?
No. Mike Zuglin, who's a fine player, says he's never run more than 150.
That's all he needed to win the
That's
match?
all, yeah. I'm not buying that. I know a couple of players in New York that are more talented than me. They've never run 200. So that's,
So that basically means that they're not really as talented as you.
No, they just never ran as many balls. That's all. But in terms of natural physical pool shooting ability, I feel that they're better players than I am. They're better than I am.
So what's like the best key ball here? What would you use here,
The
Danny?
10 ball, actually, even though it's a problem ball, because he could play the 4 and the 5, then have a free shot at the 8, maneuver up the table, shoot the 10 and stop, and he'll be in line for the 15, that is?
The strike ball, yeah. I think hopefully that's a 15. All right, let's see what he does here.
And notice that he's using the 8 and the 10. He sees them as one. He doesn't isolate a ball and say, I'll play this ball than that. He sees the 8 and the 10 as related to each other. And he's using a problem ball to his advantage because it's near the break shot. So it's very simple to roll into position from that 8.
So one of the big keys among good straight pull players is try to play your key ball and the break shot should be close to each other if you can.
If you can, or where you can maneuver simply.
So
you'd ideally like to play stop position on every shot. Stop, 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 stop. But
so would you prioritize it being, okay, number one priority is if you can successfully have the two balls at the end, the key ball and the break shot close together, within, or would you say maneuvering the cue ball easily to get to the break shot?
I think cue ball control is most important, and I think both fall under the same heading, whether you're stopping the cue ball or maneuvering into a big target zone.
Okay, so pretty equal, it's just preference on which one's better.
Yeah.
at the
Oh,
time.
what kind of lemons you're dealt before you make lemonade?
All right, so Engert capitalizing on a Mika Immonen scratch there, this last rack. Let's see what else he can do with that. It's 13-13 right now. Mika still looks pretty calm. He knows it's going to be a long match, and he's, in a race to 200, I would probably say when the score is 13-13 that even if you're sitting in a chair, you kind of got to feel that you're probably going to get another opportunity.
Sometimes you feel that you're not going to get an opportunity. You see a guy get going, you say, oh, this is it. But we're all optimists, I think. But this is nice. You can play that 5 and then the 2. Just go into that little cluster there in the middle.
You can see that Cybert's Billiard Supply banner right there in the background. I'd like to thank Cybers.com for ongoing coverage of the World Straight Pool Championships. Anybody that wants to get the results of the whole event, you can go to Cybers.com and /world, and you can pull up all the information about the World Straight Pool Championship, the round robin results, double elimination, and the final 16.
I actually didn't see that combination there when I said he was going to break the 2. He's going to work around, try and work his way around another. There are no real problems except for the cluster now. He's going to try and break them up without driving balls to the rails or creating new clusters.
Is he going to draw back to the 3 and 11? Oh, he tried. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
that's a
what he was
wild
trying
shot. I didn't like that. I didn't like that one.
That's something I would go for.
Well,
yeah, he took a chance there, didn't
he
he?
sure did. You see where that cue ball went? Could be, he's lucky to have a shot here or not scratch.
Yeah. I was thinking that was a little bit risky because of the fact that, first of all, he had to jack up.
Yeah.
It's not easy to control the cue ball when you're elevated like that.
When you go into the cluster, you don't know what the next shot is sometimes when you go in at that speed. Nice shot.
There you go. He left the 4-ball there for insurance.
Yeah, that was a nice shot.
Well, he's jacked up there. The rule in the tournament is if you touch any other ball on the table, it's going to be a foul.
Yeah, it complicates play a little bit. You're
So he's
always
gotta be
worried
careful.
about touching something.
Yeah. And it's funny, a lot of American players told me that they don't like that rule where it's all ball fouls. But, the rest of the world, in Europe and Asia, any other country actually, where they play billiards, pocket billiards, they always play all ball fouls.
It's kind of hard to monitor your clothing or things that are going on without a referee. I think that's why most American players have done away with it. They just find there's less arguing going on. But obviously, that is the fairest way to do it. If you touch anything, it's a foul.
I think I had discussions about this with a few players from Asia and Europe, and they told me that even in non-referee matches, like even in like local tournaments, weekly tournaments,
Yeah.
they always play that way, all ball fouls, and basically what it comes down to is that they just don't argue much.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't fly so well in New York.
I've seen a lot of commotion over a lot less.
Yeah, I know.
Oops.
Ooh, he used the whole pocket there.
Ah.
I'm surprised that went in, actually.
Yeah.
Pockets are not as loose as that one appeared to be, but
Yeah, almost
He got away
scratched
with it.
also. Yeah. He's going to play the bottom two balls first and work his way back up. Isn't it funny how the 8 is in the same position it was before almost?
yeah.
And he's got to right up the table for position on the shot. See that certain themes keep recurring.
Yeah. Did he plan that, you think?
Only from the last shot, because that cue ball went wild. I don't think he was.
Well, I didn't know how much of a genius he was if he planned the break shot afterwards for the 8 ball to end up there again.
Yeah, that's a little too deep, I think.
Well, I've heard stories about straight pull players, like guys you wouldn't see on tour, but like just guys that like Zen straight pull players almost, like calling their shooting a break shot and then calling. Okay, so and calling their shoot the break shot and then calling like their next shot afterwards.
Yeah.
And even what their break shot's going to be. I know it sounds silly, but a few players told me about that.
Alan Hopkins had a proposition bet where he'd play somebody by calling his next shot.
After the break shot.
No, after every shot, he would call including the break shot.
Wow.
So no matter what the cluster was, if he was shooting a ball, he'd have to say then it's, he would just do that. And it was, but like I said, you have to be a real fine control player to do that.
Well, let's see here. That's another rack for Engert, 27-13.
And he's just sitting down, composing himself while the racking is going down.
They were showing Mika there a little bit earlier, sitting in his chair, and he didn't. His body language didn't look too happy, thrilled about the situation. So
Yeah.
I guess he realized that he had a little bit of, like you said, bad luck there in that one scratch. And sometimes it happens in pool, even in straight pool, even though the luck is very minimal in straight pool, but there is probably still a small degree of it.
It comes up, it rears its ugly head every now and then, and it always seems to get you at the most inopportune moment. Nice, he's got that 10.
A little bit risky the way you hit him. He could have got stuck very easily without a shot.
I thought he probably thought at that speed he was going to bounce off the rack or create enough damage in the rack that he was going to have something.
Now, on that break shot there, would you like to have hit it the same speed, a little bit less, or a little bit harder?
I probably would have been happy just making the ball. No, you take what you get. I mean, he hit it very solid, and then you have to hope. You just...
Well, are you the type of player that likes to, I've asked a lot of players about this, playing straight pool, when it comes to the break shot, on average, if you have a choice between hitting it, soft and picking your shots out afterwards, or going to the rack hard, what kind of player are you? Do you prefer?
Probably softer. I tend to lead towards softer because I want to control the ball more.
And I heard a few people tell me that that's one of the big differences they've seen with the European and the American straight pull players, is that the Europeans play with a style more, a little bit more power game into their straight pull, and a lot of shot making involved in it, and the traditional American ways, picking your shots, playing more of a surgery type stop shots, and those kind of patterns.
Quite capable. It's quite probable. They're playing on very good equipment all the time, which makes the pocketing a little nicer, a little easier, whereas a lot of the tables in the U.S. are really rough conditions sometimes, and you don't want to be playing too many hairy shots when you're playing on equipment that's working against you. It could be that, but they do play very aggressive pool, and they do play a harder game. But they play beautifully.
Yeah, right now in our final four, 2 semifinals, we got Engert from Germany, we got Immonen from Finland, Holman on the other side of the bracket from Germany, and Max Eberle, the lone American, in the final four.
Yes.
And Max is a big surprise to get into the final four in this tournament with very little or no straight pull experience in competition-wise.
Very hard worker at the table. Very hard. He tried very hard in this tournament. You could see it in all his games. He was giving it his all. And it paid off for him. He had a very good result.
So let's see here. How is Engert going to approach some of these clusters he got during this rack?
Well, I don't know what his intention was to break into them. If he can break with the 10, he'll do it. He'd like to go into the cluster in the middle when he has an out ball, a safety ball. He's going to break from the 3 from behind and let the cue ball hit the side of the 14 so it doesn't stay under the cluster where he may not have a shot. So he'll probably hit it with a glancing blow and come up towards the 9. Make sure he's not under that cluster.
Looks like he's going to use either the 5 or the 10 ball for the breakout ball.
Yeah, it looks like it. Well, no, the ball he's bumping might be it too.
Oh, okay. So now he's got 3 options.
Yeah. He might not use the 5 because there's not a good key ball there for the 5, but the 7 ball is a good key ball for the
11 or the 10,
11.
right?
Yes. I mean, basically, you if you get into the position later, you could shoot the 7 and stop the cue ball. You'll be right there for the 11. And imagine if the 7 weren't there, you could play the 15 in the side and you'll stop right for the 10. You wouldn't even have to roll forward a little bit. Of course, having said that, he plays the first shot I was thinking was going to be his break shot, which is always the case.
Yeah. Well, like a lot of players told me in straight pool, is that a lot of times it's not really a wrong or right, but just preference between players.
Yeah, it's a question of style. That could be too. Here's another thing. Both those balls were on the side of the table that he does not want to be breaking from. He's a left-handed player. He wants to be leaning over the table comfortably.
So he actually eliminated...
He could also be struggling here. He might not have a single idea what to do right now.
Okay, so I'm not the only one.
No, he could be... No, we all founder sometimes. I mean...
Yeah, sometimes it looks a little bit different from the sidelines than it does when you're actually playing on the table.
Yeah. This is starting to look like Chinese calculus here. I don't know what he's doing, and...
Basically, ladies and gentlemen, we're trying to say that we know what's going on, he doesn't. I'm just kidding. Let's see here. Well, it looks like he's going to have no...
7 and the 9, and then come across
5.
for the 5. Well, you called it right. You called it right.
Which means that he's playing my pattern, which means he's doing it the wrong way.
going to stop it, leave a little angle on the 9, and then just drift to the rail or pull it straight back. If it goes to the rail, it'll come off softly, leave an angle on the 5. Or maybe he'll just pull it and come up.
To the rail, like you said the first time.
Lefty angle. And you'll notice him being a left-handed player, when he shoots this shot, he'll be leaning across the table naturally. He won't be crossing his body or contorting it like he's...
So he'll feel comfortable shooting the breakout shot.
Yeah.
So there you go. Thomas Engert from Germany leading 41-13 against Mika Immonen from Finland.
Yeah.
And Engert had a, according to Danny and myself, a little bit awkward rack maybe. We didn't know. We were trying to figure out what he was going to do most of the time there. But he got through it. And let's see what he does with this next rack.
I think I got a little whiplash trying to figure out his next shot there, trying to read that position. But he got there. That's all that counts. That's the bottom line in any game.
Yep. There's Randy Goldwater, our patron sponsor of the event. And Mika, well, now Mika, he does not look happy.
We might have to give Mika a wake-up call in about 40 or 50 more balls here. Nice. Nice. Very controlled there. I probably would have hit that a little harder with a little follow, because he had a little angle. You could drive it in there and really lay into it. But, you know, this is fine too. Nothing wrong with this. Come around. Centralize the cue ball so you keep a high number of options. Just a little bit more and he has that 9. Very nice.
And that's what he wants to shoot right now, right? To help break out a little bit more of that cluster?
He would. I think he's a little straight there. He may actually play it. No, he's going to do it. I don't know how much of that rack he can hit.
He probably just wants to draw back out to the center.
Oh, okay. He was able to grab into them.
Okay.
He plays very nicely. This man is a fine player. I'm sure many other people know that. They don't need me to tell them that. This is the first time I'm seeing him play.
Well, actually, you know, Engert is relatively unknown in the U.S. A lot of players have not. He has not spent a lot of time here in America, like some of the other European players, such as Mika, Ralph Souquet, Thorsten Holman has. Mm-hmm. And just recently, this past year, has he really started coming out more and showing the rest of the world what he's capable of doing. He actually came out to America years ago and played in a few events. He played in the Moscone Cup before against Team USA. So he had a few international events, but he didn't perform very well, to tell you the truth. And this past year has been his breakout year. He actually won the last UPA Pro Tour stop in Florida, the Predator Florida Open, just a few days before this tournament started. So he's kind of on a high right now. He's really showing everybody that he's here, means business, and he can play. So one of the critics, a lot of the players were critical about him, that yeah, sure, Engert's established in Europe, but can he play internationally? Can he come overseas, leave his country and play? And that was what was in question for a long time. And now he's showing that, yep, I can play my game wherever I'm at.
I think he's giving a definitive yeah to that one. Yeah, he can play. He's got patience. You can see it in his game. He's controlling the situation. He's not letting it control him. It's no fluke that he's playing for the hot seat here.
Well, if he wins this match, and if Thorsten Holman wins this match, is capable of seeing an all-German finals.
Yeah.
Which actually, at the beginning of the final 16 single elimination, when people saw that Engert and Holman were seated in 2 separate brackets, a lot of people were predicting that would be the finals, Engert and Holman.
Not unreasonable after watching this man play. This is a kind of a tough shot.
So he can hit that very nicely. He
may play the combination here. It's a funny situation. If he goes into the 15, he'll go into. If If he plays the 15, he'll go into the 14, which he would like to not do. If he plays the 8, he'll go into the, I think that's 12 ball over there. Everything's just a little bit funny after that last shot.
Nice shot there.
Very nice. He got away with something there. And he's got to deal with that cluster, that little...
Yeah, it looked like that 3 ball might have been dead before, and then he clipped it and made, if he goes for a combination, made it, much tougher.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to find a way to probably maneuver on the other side of it to get rid of those balls.
Or get behind the 10 and shoot it at the opposite corner pocket. Shoot the 10 or the 3 in the opposite corner. He's gonna... What is he gonna do? I think he wanted to get a little bit better on that 8 ball, get straight so he could then shoot the 6 and break into them. Just wants to touch
look at
one
this.
of them. What a nice shot. Oh, he didn't get rewarded.
Not exactly what he wanted, is it? But he can
No.
still shoot the balls up table, though, if he gets behind it, right?
Yeah, he's running out of break shots.
Yeah,
He's running out of ammo here.
he's getting himself into an ultimatum position, huh?
Yeah. The 10 might pass the 3. It doesn't look like it. He's going for Charlie's option. He's going uptown. He's going to keep the 6 for the break shot behind the rack. There doesn't appear to be any elegant way of playing these and going to the 6.
Yeah, you're going to have to maneuver the cue ball. You're not going to be able to go with the options you're talking about earlier, which is play a ball close to the break ball or maneuvering easily. You got to actually...
Whatever he does, if he gets there, he'll have earned it.
Yeah. I'm good at these situations because I always find myself in them consistently.
Charlie, you did pretty good in this tournament. I mean, you couldn't have been doing that much bad, that much wrong. That's the trouble with a nice tournament like this. If you do good in it, you don't get to see too many games, which is unfortunate. There are a lot of games here I really would have liked to have seen.
I think he's going to draw, or is he going to go to the side rail?
Looks
Looks like he's going to jack up, isn't it?
Yeah, he's going to pull it back, or he could do it a lot of different ways, but it's hard to tell.
I think he's going to go two rails or 1 rail down, huh? Oh, he's going to go for the 2 rails.
2 or 3, yeah. That's a nice shot.
Nice shot. Well, that's probably about as good as you can get from right there, huh?
Yeah, that was nice. That was beautifully hit shot. Shows you all the options available in straight ball. He could have drawn back, snapped it, and drawn back. He could have gone 1 rail, cross side, or he took the 3 rail option.
Well, right now the score is 55-13 in favor of Engert, and he's made Mika pay with 55 points so far for that 1 scratch, and still counting. I remember that was one of the things I had a hard time when I was playing in a tournament, and I didn't really have any big high runs, but I had a lot of 50s and 60s in a tournament, and I remember running those balls out. I'd glance over every once in a while to my opponent to see what they were doing, and I was just thinking, I couldn't help but think that, man, it would really suck to be on the other end, to like see a guy keep on making all the balls and running racks and score going. I said, I wonder how it feels. So when I played against Dorset Holman in double elimination, and he ran like 125 balls against me, then I understood how it feels.
Oh, yeah. Well, I played in the Jersey State Championship. Well, he went into that break shot very softly before I relate this story, before I had these unfortunate deeds.
Yeah, he got stuck in the... I think that's the second time we've seen him do that already now, like going to the stack and kind of get stuck there, and now it's a tougher shot than before.
That's the risk you play. The risk you take when you play a controlled game. You're going to get stuck more often, but you're not going to scratch as often either. You're not going to have as much, but it's a trade-off. Speaking of sitting in the chair, Tony Robles in the Jersey State Championship in a game for second place ran 141 balls off the break on me. In a game with a referee. I didn't even get to rack the balls. I had to sit there for about an hour or so.
So you had no participation in the match?
Nothing. 0. That's a game I didn't want to see. That's a nice shot.
Nice shot.
He's coming up with quite a few good shots in this game.
He really is a phenomenal shot maker. I got to watch him play more. I've known him for years, but I've only gotten to watch him really play the last past 6 months, and I'm really impressed by how great a shot maker he is.
Yeah.
He's very offensive. He's definitely not afraid to swing his cue at something offensively.
People say I'm offensive, but I guess they don't mean the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you're offensive.
I guess so. Most of these young players from Germany and Europe, they also seem to be good-natured too. They don't. You don't hear you never hear them barking at anyone in any manner. They all seem to be good sports.
Yeah, and if they bark, they do it in German, which is okay because we can't understand them. Wow, it looks like he keeps getting like racks where he really has to earn it.
Yeah.
Nothing really easy and open.
I guess he's playing the 6. Okay. Found a combination in there, otherwise he would have had to have shot a difficult 7 ball.
He's probably going to shoot this 14 in the corner and kind of go into that 13 and 12 right there, maybe?
He certainly could. The 5-3 or the 5-4 over there look like they could be a problem too.
So he might go into a choice of either draw it to there or maybe follow it up.
Well, if the 5 goes, he can come up and clip the ball above the 13, and then shoot the 5, and then shoot the 7, and work the rack.
So there he went into those 2 balls.
He went into those 2 balls. Now, if he can play the 5 and then play the 3, he can then turn around and shoot the 1, and he can play the rack without touching any other balls, which would make it a safer option than going into anything anymore. He really doesn't have to go into the balls anymore. He can keep the 9, 7 as the keys for the 2 ball. I think he wanted to come back a little more on that, because now if he plays the 5, he'll go into the 4, and he'll send the 4 into who knows where.
I know that place well.
Yeah.
I know who knows where.
We all do. And here again, he may not even have the 5. It may not even be an option. It may be too close to it. I don't think he's happy with what's going on right now. Oh yeah, I know he's not happy with that. Or with having to do that. If he would have preferred to have kept everything down to 6-inch, 1-foot shots. He didn't want to be playing a shot and going up and down the table. Trying to improve his position. Very nice shot. Now he's behind that little cluster, so he might even be able to shoot the 1 here and go into that 5-4 cluster there. Of course, if he cleans his position up, he can get a shot at the 2 and then play the 3 at the corner pocket where he's standing right now. He doesn't have to go into it. He's going to maneuver for a shot at the 2, and then he could shoot the 5 or the 5 or the 4. He's not going to look to break into these anymore. He knows his trade.
So he's going to use the 12 ball as his key ball then?
He could, unless he wants to stay on the left-hand side of the table again. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. I just said that too. So we share the same opinion of that last shot. Uh-oh.
I was just repeating what you were saying.
He could play this ball, stop it, and then play the 4 and go 2 cushion for position on the 15. Or not.
This is going to slow roll it.
Yeah, he's going to come around the other way. He's going to go... Either way, I think he's going to go 2 rails for the position. Go down to the bottom rail, play the ball, and then come out. Centralize the cue ball again, almost to where it is right now.
And that's something that I see that's very common in great straight pool players, is that you have to have very good ability to get the cue ball back in the center of the table.
Yeah.
Because that's where you want to be most of the time. When you're playing straight pool, you play a lot of break shots from the center or near it.
Yeah, well, you want to keep your options open, and centralizing the cue ball, as a rule of thumb, can't be bad.
So let's see here. Engert extending his lead 69 to 13.
It's 5 racks. This break shot is a big angle here. This is probably not something he's that comfortable with. It looks like a big angle.
Did Engert run from 0, -1 to 69?
Well, that's a good question. They know him and Mika traded shots in the first inning. I think they traded a few safeties.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember him having points there. I think Mika had the first rack. Let's see what he does here. Probably hit this soft also, but he should come off the corner ball. I don't see him getting stuck here.
He shouldn't get stuck here, right? But you got to worry about the scratch, maybe?
He's got to worry about the shot, too. Nice shot.
Mainly the shot.
Yeah. And he's got nothing again. He's not been too lucky here on the break shots. He got a good spread here. It's all relative to where the cue ball is, I guess.
That's been my style all these years, is make the shot, ask questions later.
Yeah. Does the 5 go?
I noticed Mika in the background. He's changed his seating position about the 6th time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, I really respect straight pool players that know how to deal with their mental game in the chair.
That's the toughest time there is when you're in that chair.
Yeah.
That was a very nice shot. First, he made a difficult shot, and he got positioned for... he's setting himself up to attack the rack from the bottom using the 8 ball.
That's what I was going to say.
Come on now.
Ooh, he got a little straight there, huh?
Yeah.
He's going to have to maybe rethink something, unless he can still got an angle to go into something.
Well, no, he doesn't. He can't even use the option of going to the rail and coming down and off the rail and going back into the rack. That's not an option. And if he comes around the rack, plays the 8, what does he have? A glimpse at the 15. Not a lot to work with. Oh, he's got that 4 ball.
So, Danny, how many years have you been playing pool?
Well, let's see. Who's president now? I think I started playing when Johnson was president. My father used to...
Who's he?
Andrew Johnson, who succeeded Lincoln. My father used to own a pool room, so I started at a pretty young age. So I've been at it a while.
So you started about what age, you think?
Oh, probably. Seriously, about 1970, maybe late 60s. But seriously, in the early 70s, when I was a teenager.
So you've been around the game for over 3 decades.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's something more interesting. Alan Hopkins ran his first 100 when he was 10 or 11.
Wow.
He's been running 100 in every decade since the early 60s.
Mr. Engert's running
Oh, he's on a 75 ball run. Okay, so now we know.
Now we know.
So I guess because the referee announced it at 75, that must be a big mark point in a straight pull when you hit 75. Is that
It's a nice number. It's a nice round number.
It's a nice
50, you usually get an applause on a 50 and then 100.
100 every 50s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people can be very enthusiastic about a run. One time, Mizrak, in a quarterfinal match at a World Open with a full audience at the Roosevelt Hotel, was running 150 and out on Grady Matthews. And towards the end, the last two racks, he was getting applaud.
Every shot?
Well, a thunderous applause at the end of every rack at that point.
Mm.
And
that must be a great feeling when the crowd knows you're on a big run. You know you're in a big run. They're into it.
yes,
Must be like a kind of electrifying experience.
that's exactly what it was. That's the whole room was ecstatic when they filed out at the end of that tournament game.
We actually did, speaking of the Miz, we actually did a little moment of silence here throughout the tournament for Steve Mizrak. He passed away just a week before this World Straight Pull Championship started. Straight pull was the game that basically made him a champion, and definitely like to recognize the fact of Steve Mizrak, a true champion in the game. We're going to really miss his presence in the billiard world.
He was, in the opinion of many expert players, the best player that ever lived to some. That was a fine shot he just
Wow.
played. We're just taking that for granted.
He shot a three-way combination. It made it look like it was nothing.
Yeah, that was a little hairy, that shot.
Yeah, you didn't have to shoot that to make it, for sure. One thing about like Engert Styles, once he gets down, once he commits to a shot, I mean, he just doesn't hesitate.
It seems that all these good players here at the final stages are like that. You don't see too much hesitation in any of their games. They once they commit, they're pretty sure of themselves.
You know, this tournament was actually about 45 minutes away from New York City. We're in New Jersey, and Steve Mizrak was probably just a few miles from here, where he was raised, and Alan Hopkins' home is very close to here, and you're, very close to. You're from Queens,
Yes.
and not too far away. So, I mean, a lot of these people, obviously, fans come in and watch the event, are New Yorkers or from New Jersey, and I mean, how does it feel to? Did you notice a lot of crowd support of the New York players?
I know a lot of people in the audience right now, and there was a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of people talking about it.
One of the things that I predicted in the beginning of the tournament was that if we got a player like yourself or Tony Robles or somebody from New York in the finals, that it would be like just a huge outpouring support, I think, of a local guy winning.
Yeah, they do get behind you. They're pretty good like that. Of course, if I got to the finals, it would probably you'd have to get Judge Landis to have an investigation.
Well, another rack for Thomas Engert. He's making that scratch seem more and more devastating to Mika Immonen.
Yeah. And again, he's leaving for a control player. He's leaving a nice assortment of break shots for himself. Not usually too big an angle, and he goes in and he usually comes up with the shot. He's doing everything he has to do.
He looked a little bit suspect in earlier racks at the beginning of this run, but now he looks like he's got in his groove, and who knows when he'll stop. He might go all the way to 200 at this point, but he's got 83 balls right now on an 83 ball run to Mika Immonen's 13, and it looks well on his way to another applause here if he breaks over 100.
Yeah. Another New Jersey player, one of the finest that ever lived, Jack Colavita, just recently passed away, and he was also very slow in the beginning of his runs, but when he got going, he was like an Olympic sprinter. He was so fast. A very smooth player.
I played against him one time. I mean, obviously he's much older than me, and I played him in an 8-ball tournament in Valley Forge, one of Hopkins' events, and it cracked me up how fast he was.
Yes.
I mean, you could not tell that this guy was a senior citizen at any rate.
No,
And-
fine player.
Yeah. And it sounded like he did a lot for the game locally. That he did a lot to promote straight pull and tournaments and players in the area. He looked like he was very well loved.
He was, and he was a family man who worked a full-time job, and he managed to play championship caliber pool all his life, and he was just a fine player.
Well, Engert taking no time right here and just going right attacking at the 9-ball for the next run.
Nice shot. Punches it just enough to leave the cue ball off the rail, so his next shot is easy.
So it looks like he's going to go into the 12 next, you think, to go into the stack a little bit?
I don't think from the rail he wants to do that. It'll probably, because it's harder to hit the ball hard that way.
Oh.
He'll probably play this ball in the side and maneuver to a better
I'm not even
shot.
sure 12 goes in past the 7-ball anyways. I didn't see that. So let's see.
I didn't even look at it either. I just took your word for it.
I took my word for it.
So
Don't
what
do
the
that.
hell? You're the promoter. You should know if the ball goes. That's a nice run right there.
Yeah, it is a nice run.
And you're looking at most of the fans in the audience have never run an 83 or half of it. If they're so enthusiastic about pool, they just love it, you know.
And let alone in a world championship situation
Yeah.
where something's really at stake right now. This is the first world championships for straight pull in over 15 years.
The first word, yes. And like I said, I was all abuzz about this. I was so excited about this tournament.
Do you know who the last guy who won the World Straight Pull Championship was?
That's a good question. I think I do. I'm going to take a guess. Oliver Ortman.
No. It was an American.
He's not American?
Not the last time I checked.
World Open, 83, Mizrek?
Nope, it was Bobby Hunter.
Oh, right, 92, sure.
And he beat Ray Martin in the finals.
Right.
And they finished like around 3 o'clock in the morning. I heard there was only 15 people left watching at the end. It was so late.
Yeah.
But he was the last person. Yeah, Bobby actually did quite well in this tournament. He, I think, finished in the top 8. And he lost a close match, actually, to Engert. Engert eliminated him from the tournament.
Fine player, Bobby Hunter. Very strong. Ray Martin, too, for that matter. Here's another guy who won 3 World Opens.
Yes.
Yeah, very fine player, local player.
So he's got a long shot here in the 11-ball. Unless there's something in the cluster. Can't see the table right now.
Ray Martin, just as an aside, another player with an incredibly smooth stroke.
Very great under pressure and composure. That's why they call him the cool cat.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a tricky shot here, Danny, huh?
This
11
is
ball.
very this is like launching an unguided missile. I mean, he doesn't know what's going to happen after this one. And the shot is tough enough by itself.
Basically got hit in hope, huh?
That's it.
And let's hope. Let's see what happens. And
Got another tough shot. Shooting over the balls, cutting the 7 in.
wow. I mean, you almost kind of feel when you have shots like that, because I take shots like that all the time. You almost feel like that if you make it, you deserve something, right?
Yeah. Well, the crowd is appreciative when you come up with a nice shot here. They're
Yeah.
pretty knowledgeable. They recognize that for what it was, a tough shot, and they.
Well,
Unless they don't like him and they're applauding the fact he's stuck again.
Well, let's see. I don't think that's the case here. But what he's going to do here, Danny? What's the options here? Is he going to cut the 7-ball?
He's got it. That's it. He's got nothing else. He's going to try and hold the cue ball up as best he can and come up with another shot.
Wow,
He's
what a
jacked
tough
it.
shot this
Yes,
is.
it sure is.
It's a fine cut in a 7-ball when you're jacked up. It's so, I mean, you can sometimes miss the whole ball.
Yeah. It surely is. You don't mind me calling you Shirley, do you?
No, I don't mind.
Okay.
What a shot.
That's a beauty.
What a shot.
And now he can make another one. That's your reward.
Like I said earlier, what an incredible shot maker he is. Does he have an open shot? He deserves an open shot.
He does. He has the 15 ball. Which, if he makes it, will mean there are no more brown balls left on the table. He took care of them all right here. It's very hard to open up this rack right now. I don't see too much. He can get stuck again.
Yeah, he can. He's got to force it. Wow, what a stroke. I tell you what, I'll tell you what, he's not afraid to hit the ball hard
No.
and accurate.
He did what he had to do, and that's not it. That's not always the easiest thing.
At least he's got a shot, and he's got a little reward now. Finally.
Well, he's got to break up another cluster here. It was created the 10 and the 5. Is that the 12?
Whatever you want it to be.
Stop moving that
make it.
camera, fella. Next time, no more drinks for the cameraman, okay? Before the match. I don't know how he's going to get into them. Maybe use the 8 and go one rail. It's also a risky shot.
It looks like he's going to do exactly that.
Yeah, risky business. And he doesn't have a good angle. He left a very severe angle. The shot becomes problematic. And it doesn't look like he's going to come out of this with a break shot either. Or a standard break shot.
Maybe he's going to play for the 3 ball, maybe as a break shot.
Well, I'm looking at that cluster first. He's not getting to the break shot till he does something with that cluster.
Yeah.
He's
got to go. He's got to try to go into it one more time, doesn't he?
Even if he hits him, he could wind up scratching on the shot.
Yeah.
Oh, he hit the top of it. Very nicely done.
And he got a reward.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Now he could play the 10 and hope to get a shot at the 12. What ball is that? Just for the sake of.
That's the Mika ball. Oh, sorry. It's. We
Is
changed
that the
angles.
15 or the 12? What is that down there?
That's the 15 ball.
That is the 15. Okay, I was wrong about the brown balls before. One of the they're using the new colored balls now, and being an old timer, it's. I'd like to blame it on being an old timer. It's just I don't even know how to count.
So what's it? Oh, he's going
He
to.
can't hold up the 15 and get the 10 out of the way.
So he's going to use the 3 ball.
Going to come back across. Oh, that's a nice shot. You ever hit that shot? You got an angle, and
No, you like going 2 rails with high English here?
I think you have to. And he may actually be too straight. He may have a problem here.
So it looks like he's got to go 2 rails and try to get back towards the center of the table again.
Almost always, unless he plays for the 3 in the side, for the break. Nope. Coming up. Beautiful shot. Oh my.
You think he's got enough angle there to go right into the stack?
He can catch
He's
the
good?
top of it. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure he can. This is the same shot that Mika scratched on.
Yeah, I was
almost.
just thinking that when you said hit the top of the rack there.
Yeah.
So what's he got to be careful of scratching off the top?
Well, what happens is the cue ball runs off the top 2 balls and goes to the long rail, and it's almost a natural bank into the side pocket. Mika didn't really go into that track, but he got kissed into it. So he got lucky not to go into the scratch, and then he got unlucky to get kissed into it. It was, and it's quite an exciting shot.
If you're going to go into the top, as a trick then to not hit it quite as hard or put a different spin on it or what?
Try and get the cue ball to hit a ball full so it stuns the cue ball and stops its motion.
I see.
Or hit it softly and glance off so you dislodge a few balls. And again, stop the motion of the cue ball. Again, it comes down to control.
So he's not going to hit this very hard then.
He may not have to. If you're glancing off the rack, you really don't have to hit it too hard.
Wow, it's nice to see a 100-ball run here if he can make this ball in a couple more.
Yeah, I'm sure Mika's rooting for him. Probably hoping his tip falls off. Nice shot. Nicely played. This guy is...
Wow.
He's got the...
Is he okay here? Is it the 7-ball up table maybe?
He's got that ball...
Wow.
What's that, the 13? No, he doesn't have that. You're right.
He looks pretty tough here.
Yeah. Now, this is an example of bad luck. He's dislodged about 7 balls from the rack. He centralized the cue ball, and he's basically come up with nothing.
So that's the part I hate about straight pool.
Oh.
I did everything right, and look.
What would the equivalent be in billiards? Missing a whole bunch of shots, a whole succession of shots
About
by
like
a
a
fraction.
millimeter?
Yeah. I guess all the games have their own torture devices.
So I wonder how easy or hard this is. He's got to be careful he doesn't double hit it.
There's nothing at all easy about this shot.
So
He's
he could cut
close
a
to it.
little
He's
bit.
jacked up.
Oh yeah, he's not loving it.
No, he
for
isn't.
Sure.
This is a shot only a mother could love.
Well, then he's got to worry about position. Because look, even if he makes it
Yeah.
and he doesn't hit it,
It looks like the
where's he gonna
4
shoot
ball
next?
goes under the 10. And it looks like the 1 ball goes.
the one might go with the combination, right?
No, the one in here. I mean, if
The
he
one-
makes the,
oh,
if he makes the
okay.
7, it might go to this pocket.
But the cue ball's gonna go to the right side rail. I'm not sure if he can hit it hard enough to get back to the 1. Maybe.
Well, he's gonna dig down.
Let's see what he
It
does.
may be
here.
the way he has to hit it. He probably can't hit it soft.
He's got to watch out for the foul too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, so he hit it.
Nice shot into the
No,
rail.
into the
didn't
rail.
make it.
Wow.
Nice run. 98.
So close to
99.
100.
Yeah.
It's like you said before that the crowd likes high runs, and if Engert would have ran 200 and out during the set, I don't think the crowd would have been anything against Mika, but I think they just love to see high runs.
Oh, sure. At that point, even Mika wouldn't begrudge him that. I mean, it's...
I don't know about that. I know
Well,
Mika pretty well.
Listen, Mika's still a fan of the game. He loves the game, and he knows better than anyone there's nothing you can do when you're in the chair. There's 2 guys from California that go all around the world looking at tournaments. There's 2 people out there, and they're going to give the winner 50 silver pesos. No, I won the Jersey State Championship a few years ago. They gave me 50. They do that to every tournament they go to.
What's 50 silver pesos worth?
Whatever the silver
$5?
content. No, they're probably worth $5 each.
Oh, okay. I like the way these European players dress. They look really sharp.
Well, they're all lean and they're in good shape. Probably comes from eating ivory soap every day. They look like they eat bars of it. But they all look clean cut and they're well groomed.
Well, this will be a nice feather in Mika's cap if he can win this. He won the World Championships for 9-ball back in 2001.
Yes.
And if he can win this one, it'll be 2 world titles to his name. And also, not just the fact that it's a world title, but if you can win the world title in
A different discipline.
discipline, it really
Yeah.
shows that you really can play different games. You're an all-around player.
You're right about that. Going back to Alan Hopkins, he's won in straight pool, 9-ball, 10-ball, and he's a tremendous one-pocket player.
Yes. And that's one thing I'll say about the American players is that they are great all-around players, a lot of these top players. Like, you get someone like Shannon Dalton, one of the younger players, but he's great bank pool, one pocket, 9-ball. He told me, I asked him, can you play straight pool? He's like, yeah, sure. I can't doubt it from his all-around skills in other games. And Nick Varner, another all-around world champion, plays all games great. And so many great American players playing all games well.
Yeah. Mizrek, too.
Yeah, Steve Mizrek.
He's going to play the 4-ball here.
But meanwhile, back to the 2 Europeans playing right now.
That's right.
Semifinals.
I just thought I'd mention that.
Always throw in the USA plug in there. I think I'm the best Korean player in the world. I'm definitely the best Korean player that can't speak Korean well in the world.
I'm going to take your word for that.
Yeah.
I don't usually chart players from where they are and how good they play.
Just take my word for it.
Okay. But you're from Bayside, aren't you? Bayside, Queens?
No.
Oh, I thought you were from Bayside.
Jeanette is, I think. Oh, no. What they make it? Whoa.
Safety, he said. That's pretty funny. That may be Mika's first joke of the year, I think.
Whoa, what happened there? He tried to cut it thinner.
Tried to cut
and
it
go
thin.
2 rails into the stack.
Yeah.
And he had it too thick. If he would have made the ball, then he might have.
Maybe a bit better.
If he would have made the ball, then he might have got away with it.
He might have. I think he wanted to pull it a little more. He didn't cut it nearly enough, and or he cut it too much. It happened so fast. I'm not even sure what happened there, but he definitely missed a shot.
Well, that was a boo-boo by Mika's part, but if he didn't leave Engert a shot here, then he might have got away with a little something.
Hey, there's a kiss-off on that 4-ball. I don't know if either player is paying attention to it. The 4 off of the, is that
I can't tell what that is, but I see
11,
the
yeah.
bottom strike ball.
Yeah. Mika was in a position to take a stab at it before.
Looks like Engert's kind of looking toward the direction he
Well,
was earlier. Maybe he was.
Well, he's going to take a scratch himself if he doesn't have anything. He has to make sure there is nothing, though, before he takes the scratch. He can just shoot the cue ball in the pocket right now and leave Mika the same position. Hopkins had a bet, speaking of multi-talents, that he would run all the balls in one pocket.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that one.
One pocket bet.
So he's playing a scratch here.
He just took a safety behind the rack. It's not a good shot.
And why is that not a good shot?
Because he's too easy for Mika to get off the foul now. He didn't put enough pressure on him. He's up against the balls. He really didn't accomplish. He gave Mika a chance to play an easy safety right back.
And there you go. And then that's a good example of someone like Engert, who's got enormous straight pull experience, but the Europeans, I don't think, play that kind of style of strategy in straight pull that the Americans have mastered over the years.
Yeah. It may be he's just drawing a blank. He's tired after the run. I mean, it could be a lot of factors, but this is not something that would fill me with dread if I was here right now. I don't have a shot, but then again, I'm not giving up anything. He could have left him on the short rail. Would have been tougher for the kid to move back. I'm sorry, the kid, Mika, the kid. Would have been tougher for Mika to move into a good safety from the short rail underneath the rack. Or for that matter, he could have shot the ball in the pocket if he was convinced there was nothing there.
So Mika's just going to try to clip a ball and go right back into the stack again and re-safe Engert.
No, I wouldn't go back into the stack.
I would
leave
go
it
to
on
the end
rail.
rail in the middle maybe somewhere?
Yeah. There you go. See, basically Thomas left himself in a very tough position. That's basically what he did, because he let Mika play an easy safety. I just gave a seminar at Amsterdam Billiards for one of the straight pool leagues up there. I run one of the straight pool leagues, and we were discussing safety play. And it's, people always ask about taking that scratch behind the rack. It's amazing how often that comes up, especially with the weaker league players. It's not that obvious, though. Alison Fisher and Vivian Villarreal at the 2000 U.S. Open, they didn't know how to handle that safety play either.
Yeah.
Neither one being a straight pool player,
Sure.
of course. I was kind of disappointed I didn't see Karen Kaur or Alison Fisher here. Karen not too far away.
We did have some pretty great straight pull players that were women. Megan Meinrich from Colorado. We had Jeanette Lee.
Oh, Jeanette did fine. And
well, I think a lot of people's opinion, they said maybe Jeanette might be the best women's straight pull player.
I've often felt that way, and now I'm seeing this girl, Jasmine. There's no doubt about it that Jasmine Ocean has just raised the bar for the women.
Yes.
And this girl's a fire eater. She's the real deal.
Well, she impressed a lot of people, but when she was in a do or die situation against John Schmidt to qualify to the round robin, and had to basically get like 86 balls, which pretty much means win, and she won the match to qualify. And then she made it to the final 8, and I think it took Dorson Holman to knock her out of the tournament.
That was a good safety. A very nice shot.
So who's the greatest straight pull player that you've ever seen?
The natural ability, in terms of just grace around the table, I think Jack Colavita. In terms of winning championships and just grit, true grit, Hopkins and Mizrak. The players I've seen on a regular basis, but one player who's I find phenomenal, who I haven't seen enough of, was Dallas West. And the stories I've heard about him are almost unbelievable. Playing a guy and running 300 balls and then doing it left-handed. I mean, he's a phenomenally strong player, Dallas West. Probably because he's from the Midwest, doesn't get too much notoriety out here. And
yeah, towards the east, I guess, it's kind of human nature, isn't it, that wherever you're from, you're going to be most familiar with the games of the people in that area. So probably people in in the Midwest, people from Chicago are going to name Dallas West a lot.
He's just a great player. I've seen so many great players. I mean, it's just when they used to have qualifiers in the 70s, and I was a young man then, you play in qualifiers, and your flight might include Ray Martin, Steve Mizrak, and cannon fodder like myself. That would be the four-man group.
Well, I don't know if cannon fodder is the right word for you.
Believe me, I couldn't make a dent in these guys.
Oh, look at this shot. Oh, my gosh. I think he called a 13 ball in the corner pocket.
I think he did too.
He said, "Can you believe that?"
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought he banked the ball for a second there and got a good
unbelievable.
break. I didn't know he missed the shot. That was an extreme cut on that shot.
That was a super shot, and the ball was going right towards the hole. And I think the ball that banked down the table, I think it stopped.
Interferes. Yes, it did.
It stopped the ball from going in. I mean, that's pretty bad luck.
Yeah.
Mika just took a bathroom break, and he was pretty disgusted.
It's not his inning. He can't take a break.
No, well, I guess he can. He took a break.
I guess he did. Yeah. So.
But Engert is allowed to keep shooting because there is a referee at the table. So, and not to mention, a couple hundred people watching.
I actually had an opponent during this tournament who told me to not to stop shooting during my inning so he could take a break, and I refused to allow that. I said, "No, you rack the balls for me, and then you can go, and I'm going to keep shooting."
Well, a lot of players, when the rule is or has been in the past at events where they can take a bathroom break on your inning and you have to stop the match. A lot of players, it's kind of a move. They do that to stall you, to break your rhythm, break your concentration, to make you ask questions like, why is this guy blah, 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 right? So they basically, for the most part, worldwide eliminated that rule to where if either you can only take a bathroom break on your turn, or if there's a referee present, sometimes you can take a bathroom break, but your opponent can continue shooting. Yeah. And to tell you honestly, a lot of people don't feel comfortable, even with the referee, to leave the table. You come back from the bathroom, you're down 2 more games.
Or
the match is over.
Playing for one, yeah. He's going to pick up that 10 ball now, I think.
I remember I played when I was a kid. I was 15 years old. I played in the U.S. Open.
Listen, you need to get rolls every now and then. You need to get going. I can't sit in the chair all night.
Where did that come from?
That was Mika Immonen. I think I can't see it, but I think.
I'm not gonna
Is that Joel Shapiro he's talking to?
No, I think he's talking to the referee. I think the referee. Let's listen.
That's Joel.
Oh, okay. I think Mika maybe was standing or something, or took a bathroom break or something, and he's basically saying, I need to move around a little bit. I can't just sit there.
And he's got that 15 for the break. And he got out of line.
He's going to shoot the 5 ball maybe?
Well, that's not the shot you want to be shooting from this distance.
No.
That's not that clean, but he's shooting it. And now his last shot is nothing.
Just a little slow roll. Just a few inches past the 1.
That's it.
Just like I would have done it.
Beautiful. I didn't like shooting that 5 ball, but...
Well, like I said, that's what I would have. Well...
Again, your natural playing abilities, if you can shoot good, if you have enough God-given talent to shoot well, and that's something you're pretty much born with, you could stretch out the way you play position. You could take longer shots and do things. So your natural talent level can dictate what position you play or how you play a pattern. Or
they're using a pen there to mark the cue ball and cleaning it. Now the cue ball is 3 inches past where it was earlier.
Yeah, it pays to bribe your referee.
I'll tell you what an unfortunate turn of events for Mika there when he made a great shot, well, almost made a great shot. I mean, it was
No.
going right
Yeah.
exactly where he wanted to go. He had let his cue ball go wild, but
It was a great hit. No doubt
it was a
about it.
great hit, and then a ball coming straight down the table into the pocket to stop it. Wow.
Shows you how good a player Mika is. He's capable of coming up with a shot.
Oh, one of
Anywhere.
the greatest shot makers in the world, no doubt.
But again, here's something where it worked against him. He missed a shot in the side pocket and scratched. He tried a very difficult shot. You know, he has so much confidence in his own ability. He's liable to shoot anything.
Yeah.
He's liable to shoot a ball on the next table.
And he is coming off a high from earlier from defeating Ralph Souquet the day before with a 120 ball run. So he knows he's playing well.
Yeah, he can do it all. He's capable at any point to win a game.
He's speaking all around players. Mika is a strong one pocket player. Great bank pull player. And good straight pull and great 9-ball obviously, and he's just tough. I mean,
Yeah.
you really don't. He's not one of those guys that you really want to face on the table. You're not like dying to face him any day on any game, really.
No, I've always had a struggle with him in tournaments and everything. And I was playing him in Amsterdam one time. We split 4 games. We each ran 100 in the games we won. At the 2 games I lost, my score was -1. He beat me. So I felt if I got to 5, I was the favorite.
Now he's mentally crushed because I got on the board.
At Amsterdam?
No, I was saying that you said if you got to 5 points.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
was like, now you're mine.
I thought you meant the high run board at Amsterdam.
Oh no. Well, Thomas doesn't really like the situation.
No,
here.
he doesn't. He doesn't. Well, here's again. He's hit another break shot where he's looking at his second shot as a tough shot. And a player like Thorsten, he's never going to have this shot because he's always annihilating the break shot. It doesn't help he's on the opposite side of the table, I guess. Well, this is just awkward.
Yeah.
And where's the cue ball going when you're done with it at the end of the day? I wouldn't be surprised if he turns around and shoots the 7. I guess, on second thought.
There you go. He reached out. Well, he's left-handed, like you said. That was kind of his. If he was right-handed, he wouldn't have been able to do that.
Yeah, I guess he found a comfortable spot to shoot that from.
We shot it within like 2 strokes. I think it probably wasn't that comfortable. He wanted to get it
Yeah.
over with. Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes if you have a funny body alignment shot,
Mhm.
you just got to get up there and just like stroke it once or twice and just let it go. Because if you stay there too long, it gets so uncomfortable that it detracts from your concentration, and you actually change your alignment or change your aiming, or you're thinking about the pain your ribs are going through right now, your legs. And so
Yeah.
sometimes it's good to. You'll notice a lot of these guys when they get in an awkward situation with their body, they'll fire off a little bit quicker maybe than usual.
Yeah, I was in a position one time. I was so contorted. Somebody tried to sign me up for Cirque du Soleil.
The one in Orlando or the one in Vegas? Which one?
Vegas, of
Oh,
course.
Vegas, okay.
I got to do in Florida. And he's quietly piling up the points here. Notice how fast this game got out of control for Mika, 106-16, and he's still at the table.
Yeah, I mean, Engert started off with a mistake, let Mika back in, and Mika had an unlucky scratch, and boom, boom, boom. Now it's like he's down by almost 100 points.
Yeah,
The match is
right.
almost halfway done, and Mika's not really anywhere close to 200 points.
Well, maybe he'll catch a break here. There's his break. If he doesn't have a shot at the 5, he's got it.
So you're going to use the 2-ball here as your break shot, maybe?
Yeah, but how do you get to the 14? 8. How do you get to them? Yeah, it's not a given that's going to... He probably wants the 2 for the...
He might get rid of it right now. He might get the right angle on a 3, maybe, to go into the 8 and 14.
Well, let's see.
Or he's going to shoot this ball up table and then come back for the same position, maybe.
I don't think he can
Yeah,
shoot the 10 and get that angle.
He might not have the angle.
Maybe he's going to come back down for the 4, the yellow ball.
Oh, so he's gonna have to.
Use the deuce.
He's gonna go into the 4 and come behind
Yeah,
it, maybe.
That's a tough shot. He's going to go into them completely. I don't think he's going around it.
A little risky here, huh?
He probably felt he had to do it at this point. He's running out of options.
Well, now there's only one way, right?
Yeah, 8 to the 1. Well, this is pretty clean from here.
Yeah. No, he came out well with that little.
Came out very well.
He took a little risk, made a good shot, and he got rewarded.
Funny when you have a lot of points on your side, how the you get the rolls.
Yeah. Can he draw it back, or is he gonna have to?
Well, if he
No,
holds
he's
the
gonna-
ball,
He's gonna have to hold the ball, maybe pull it back just a little bit.
yeah, he's looking at the angle he's going to be left with. It looks like that's what he's going to do. I don't think he can go to the rail either here. I don't think that's an option.
His shot making's so strong that it's okay for him to play conservative with his position, because he can make the shot from almost anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's what guys like Engert and Immonen and Holman do so well, is that they're such great shot makers that, it's like, as long as they can see the ball, it's like they're in good shape still.
Off to the races.
Yeah.
I would feel very uncomfortable with this shot, which is why I'm sitting here.
You did pretty well.
But that's true. I mean, I really wouldn't feel comfortable with the long angle, big angle break shot. I just don't want to be shooting them.
What was your high run during the tournament?
70 and out, I think, in the first series against Orkula, 60 something or 70 and out.
Oh, that's great. You beat a great player, and that's a nice run.
In a double elimination.
Oh, in a double elimination.
Yeah, I ran a 50 on him, and they had a few runs in the 60s against Cohen. Cohen's a pretty solid player, actually.
Yeah, he's the number 1 player in France, and one of the best players, straight pull players. That's his favorite game.
He's also an Inspector Clouseau lookalike. Well, getting back to this, he doesn't say much, but he's a very dogged player, very determined.
Yeah.
I'd never seen him before.
He rarely comes out to America. I'm not sure if he ever did before, but when he heard about the World Straight Pool Championships, he contacted us right away and said, "How can I get an invitation?" So many of these great players just dying to play straight pool.
Yeah.
Just that very few opportunities to play.
What a nice shot. That didn't come around enough.
Engert, I noticed that a lot of, like, on tricky shots, he jumps straight up in the air. He jumps up a lot in his shots, but I guess his alignment and his stroke is so good that he just gets away with it a lot of times.
Yeah. A lot of nervous tension here. Playing the combo? Or the 11?
11 or the 6. 11 ball, probably.
There you go. Well, he either made a shot at yes, he has the 10. You're just going to keep working the rack here and deal with the 4-3 later. Play that and then the 7 ball, probably.
He's going to play the 6 and 2, or the 12 ball maybe, to go into the stack.
I think he should play the 7 from here. He can always work his way around, and he's clearing up a problem by playing the 7 next.
I see. It's a nice shot.
Yeah.
So what do you like here for the key ball and the break shot?
Well, again, you haven't dealt with the 3 and the 4 that are on the rail yet, and I haven't had a good look at the table since he broke them. Probably the 15 for the break. Notice how he's working the balls off the rails. He might have an opportunity to take care of the 3 and the 4 in the very next inning by playing the 5 and drifting over to the rail. Really want to get fancy, you could try to bump the 3 out if you play the 5. Bump it out for a key ball. That's a funny angle.
I think he's gonna maybe use the 5 ball now to go up there and take care of the 4 and the 3, like you said. Maybe he'll play the 3 ball next,
Depends on how they lay.
or if he gets the wrong. Yep, he's gonna go up there. He's gonna
Yeah.
take care of the 4 instead, probably now.
Mm-hmm. Mika knows he's in trouble here.
Oh, a little behind the back here.
I used to play shots like that when I was a normal-sized human being. Nothing to tell you in this game which way to go, which shot to shoot first. There's 5 balls on the table, and he's got to look. You know. Well, I don't know what his key ball is or his break shot from this point. He's going to have to get to that 3 soon. He could leave either the 15 or the 9. That's nice. He knew to come above the balls. He left himself on the right side.
Well, he's gonna have to lead a 9 ball for his break shot now.
He's going to come around again.
Come around 2 rails. 1, 2. Make sure you don't get 2 straight.
Oh, this is perfect.
Oh, he's got
this
perfect.
is nice.
Nice
Oh,
shot.
wait a minute. Maybe he did get 2 straight.
No, I think he's okay.
This is a tricky shot. You have to hit this.
Hit it smooth.
You have to hit it hard, soft with top-bottom English.
Yeah, it's okay.
Very nice. This man is serious.
He's a serious man.
He looks like it. He's playing beautifully. I mean, this is really nice. He's getting around the balls pretty easy.
What would you say the odds are right now of Mika coming back to the table? If you had to put a percentage on it.
Well, what are the chances of him running 66 balls from here? I'd have to say that. 50-50 maybe. He might very well run out here, but that's a lot of balls still. That's still 5 racks of balls. Still a long way to go.
So basically 50-50, so he needs roughly about 60 balls. So basically every ball he makes is going to be like 1% off.
I don't know how that works.
I'm just kidding. I don't know how it works either, but it's not looking so hot for Mika right now, and Engert looks like a machine.
And it seems when he gets stuck, he gets out of it, with ease.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ease.
Yeah, he's not afraid to take on those tough shots, and when he gets in tough situations, he doesn't. He thinks about it, he looks at it, then he just does it.
Yeah, and softly too. And he's not getting hurried. He's not rushing. He's just playing fine pool.
So at this tournament, this is probably. Have you ever seen a straight pull tournament with so many international players in it before?
No, this is a pretty wide smattering of players over here, and very strong across the board. Whereas a few tournaments I saw in the 70s and 80s had some foreign players. They were not that strong.
We had one player from Japan in a tournament, Go Takami from Tokyo, and he never played straight pull before really, and he went undefeated in the round robin.
Oh. And what happened in the next group?
I think he lost in a double elimination. He lost 2 matches, but still, it was pretty impressive to see a lot of new faces doing well.
Yeah.
Mike Davis, I think, finished in the quarterfinals in a tournament, his first straight pool tournament. And what you've seen so many new faces at the event. Who impressed you the most out of the new guys you've seen?
Jasmine.
Yep, she's a guy.
Ryan McCreesh played. Well, we were talking about.
Yeah,
the
any player. You're
players,
right.
yeah.
You're right. No, that counts.
She's certainly not a guy. I mean, I'm not that blind. Let's see. Ryan McCreesh played pretty good. He plays pretty good. some of the players who aren't that young, who I saw, well, naturally Cohen played pretty strong, and Orkula, who I'd never seen play before. He doesn't know the game, and he was able to put them balls together.
You played against Marlon Manalo in the New Jersey Straight Pool Championships.
Twice. He waxed me twice. I had a good chance. It came down to a final shot at the end with me needing 60 and him needing 70. And I just missed the combination, and he ran out on me. But he played pretty strong against me 2 games. He ran 100-something off the break the first game, and then the second game he caught me and ran 70-something out.
I saw a quote from you after the event. You said something about to the matter of watching him play makes me rethink how I play straight pool.
Believe me, I saw that quote on the internet, and believe me, I did not say it.
Oh, okay.
I did not say that. I don't know where they got that from.
Maybe people were presuming that Marlon has a little straight pool experience, so maybe he didn't play like the proper
no, not
standard
at all.
patterns.
No, he was all right. He was pretty steady. I've seen strange straight pool. I've played strange straight pool. Marlon Manolo is a control player, and he's very talented. There's nothing there that really shocked me except that he played that good without having played straight pool.
All right, so everybody, we cleared it up here. Misquote on the internet. Danny Burry did not say that.
I did not say. I don't remember saying it, and
or at least he doesn't remember saying it.
I will deny it.
One of those.
I had a good game against Parika in that tournament. He needed 27 and missed. I ran 90 and out on him.
Oh, nice.
That's always nice to do to Jose. I don't feel too sorry for him. He's given more beatings than he's gotten.
Yeah, definitely.
He needs a little humility every now. He's one of the great players of the last 20, 30 years. He's such a talented guy.
Meanwhile, Engert is just going right through his rack while we're talking like it ain't no problem. And
well, we've come to expect it now in this game.
Should we just give him the rack then?
We'll give him this rack. Go on to the next one.
Okay.
Well, this is easy. 3 ball. Well, he could actually play with a 15 and use the 14 for the key ball. We'll see what he does here. No, he's going to use the 3 for the break. I think. Most definitely, probably.
They just clapped. He must have ran 50 balls, maybe? I think the referee just announced he had a 50-ball run. So far, that will be a, 97 or 98 ball run and plus a 50-something now.
Yeah, that's pretty strong.
Probably not a lot of matches at 200 where a guy runs like 98 and 50-something that, you come back from.
No, that's very rare. That's very hard to do. Mike Siegel once needed 5 balls or 10 balls against Jim Rempe, and Rempe got out 190 in 2 innings on him.
That hurts.
Yeah. Alan Hopkins was playing a very strong local player, too. He ran 170 and out. The guy needed about 5.
Were there a lot of, did you see a lot of money games in straight pool back
That
in the
last
day?
one was a money game.
Oh, playing against Rempe?
No, that was a tournament game, but the one with Hopkins against this local player was.
Did you ever see a chance for those guys like
money games?
Siegel and Rempe and Varner and Hopkins? Did they ever play each other for money in straight pool?
If they did, I didn't see too much of that. Siegel's very particular who he played. I think very where and when this and Hopkins. He'll play on the floor against anybody. He doesn't care. He played everyone everywhere. But then again, Hopkins was more local than Siegel. I didn't get a chance to see that much of him. I'm sure he did.
So let's see here. Only 52 balls away from winning the semifinals and him getting one match closer.
Again, he's breaking from the left side of the table. He's always correct, this guy. Just so nice. And again, he has no shot. It's amazing. He just has no luck on the break shots. That he's doing this well in this match is amazing because he's really getting nothing on the breaks.
I think he's got the 10 ball in the corner. They show the table back again. It's not super easy, but it's a shot. And it's on the left side, so it's his natural side for a left-hander.
Let's take a look at that.
Well, the camera loves him. We're not seeing much of the table right now. Oh, no, well, he's gonna... Is he banking the ball?
Oh, yeah, that tempo's nuts. No, he's cutting it in.
Wow, he's cutting this. What a tough shot.
Or maybe he's back. I can't tell. Yeah.
What
Whoa.
a shot. Wow. He's gonna get a reward?
He's gonna get reward? Come on, this is Engert we're talking about. He's
Unbelievable.
safe.
Look at this. He cut the ball in, super thin, tough shot. Cue ball goes wild, hits the point on the side pocket, and puts him right back in the stack where he has no shot.
Mika's complaining that he didn't scratch, I think. He's saying, wow, am I unlucky? He didn't scratch.
Either he's complaining about that or he's just saying, well, see, that's what happens to me too.
Yeah.
I make a great shot and I get no reward.
That was a tremendous shot. It was so good, I couldn't even tell if he was banking the ball
Wow.
or not. That was really colossal.
It takes a lot of guts to shoot a ball like that.
Yeah.
Well, this would be a very important title for both these gentlemen. Mika with adding another world title to his credit, and Engert going for his first world title. I think this is the first time, if he wins this match, that he'll ever be in the contention in the finals for playing for world championships. And
That's pretty amazing considering how strong he plays.
well, he hasn't probably had a lot of opportunities, like I said, to play in international competition until this past year. But if him winning the Challenger Champions and winning the UPA Predator Florida 10 ball championships, and if he wins this, I mean, this will just definitely solidify him without any question about his game and how strong a player he is. And even if he doesn't, even if he gets to the finals, I mean, I think it's pretty much shown that he can definitely play all games well and that he's a solid player.
Well, it's like you say, there hasn't been a lot of straight pool tournaments too, but hopefully you'll be correcting that situation. You'll be taking steps to ensure that there are straight pool tournaments every year, about 2 or 3 of them, and 4 or 5 of them.
We'll see what we can do. Need to find more guys like Randy Goldwater.
Well, we've got one sitting outside the booth that looks like Randy. It is Randy, as a matter of fact. What's he doing? Must have had nothing to do today.
Maybe we can convince Randy to donate one of his millions over to straight pool.
Well, that's your job.
Or at least get a good dinner out of it, one or the other.
It's been pretty good for pool. It was very nice. Hey, Randy, I always want to say wherever you are, thank you for this tournament. Very nice. Thank you very much.
I just
Thank
want to
you
tell
very
Randy
much.
that I really thank him for his support. It's been great working with him, and if he doesn't support straight pool anymore, then he sucks.
Well, there you have it. Oh, I don't know what he's doing here. He's cutting that ball. Oh, safety. Did he forget that Mika was on a foul? Was Mika on a foul? No, he missed that shot. That's
No,
right. That was the
no.
other end. Not a bad save.
Well, how unlucky was that for Engert to come up with that shot?
Yeah.
A thin cut. I mean, you just don't see that he's not going to get a shot from there.
Yeah. Well, there you have the situation you're talking about. What are the odds of Mika coming back to the table? It didn't look like Engert was gonna stop, and yet it shows you how sensitive the game is.
Well, it doesn't look great for Mika, but Mika can cut that 6 ball in the left pocket.
Yeah, it's turning the cue ball loose again. And he's going to shoot it, I'm sure. Well, he may shoot the
choice.
combo. That's
Yeah,
a tough
or the
combo,
combo.
too. The combo has the advantage of being able to control the cue ball a little more.
Yeah. If he goes for the combo, the cue ball should go to the side rail and back into the stack.
Yes. I'm going to tell you, the old Golden Cue in Queens, which the best players in the world played in at some time or another,
3 ball.
especially in the 60s. Mizrak, as a young man, couldn't get an even money bet in the King of the Hill exhibition matches there every week. He could not get an even money bet on a 100-ball run. That's how strong he played. Nice
Wow.
shot. Oh! Whoa!
Let's see how the roll for Mika now. Mika finally got he's like, I got a roll.
He's happy he didn't scratch, I think.
Well, even a better way to put it is I didn't get a bad one.
Yeah.
He's not even looking for a roll. He's just looking for not getting a bad one right now at this point. Well, let's see what Mika can do with this. I mean, he needs to pull that 100-ball running he did yesterday. He can surely use it right now.
100-ball run might not win the game for him. at this point.
You're right.
As a matter of fact, it would leave him deep in the hole. He'd still need 84.
Okay, I retract that. He needs one of those 184 ball runs right now.
He needs not to give up an open table at this point. He can break into these nicely. He can work this rack real easy. There's no real problems. He can draw back off the 9 ball into the 14 and still have a shot.
One thing I will say about Mika, I've known him for a long time, we're very good friends, is that he is a type of player that will rise to the occasion.
Yeah.
I mean, if the odds are against him and he needs to do something that's miraculous or something that's maybe he never even did before, he's capable of doing it. I've seen him do it time and time again. He's such a tough competitor, has such a great mental game that he can dig deep in himself and find what he needs to do what he needs to do. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't shock me to death if he did run 184 balls from here. Definitely would give the fans something to cheer for and break the world record set by Doors at home just a day ago.
I just said he can go into the balls. And here's a question. He came up with a tough shot after that, after I said he should be safe going into these balls. You never can tell. But if he gets going, maybe it's right. Maybe you're right. Your prophecy will come true. And you'll have 2 high runs set in one tournament.
You know what? I just noticed that he's in trouble.
Oh, no, I saw it right after the break.
I was talking about how great Mika is. I realized, boy, he got in trouble again.
He's banking. Let's see how good he banks now. Short.
Oh. And believe me, he does not miss banks often, especially of that caliber of bank. He knows it too.
Sure he does.
That's a bank shot that he knows is routine for him.
One thing, the old timers, they never banked balls. Never. They just know the risks involved, and they just tried to play risk-free.
I was talking to Jose Garcia the other day, and he was saying big difference between the younger and older players, or from players that are great shot makers and not shot makers, is a lot of it has to do with motivation. He says, if the desire to go for tough shots will determine whether or not you're a good shot maker or not. And people that basically, he said, a lot of times when you see with the older players, they lose their desire to go for tough shots. And that's why they go more into safety play, get more involved in one pocket, or things like that.
Yeah.
So that's what he said, at least.
Could very well be. Listen, Jose Garcia is such a great player, and I don't that if he says something, I'm gonna pay attention to it. Motivation is certainly a big factor in this game.
Yeah, it was a big surprise that Jose didn't make it through the round robin in this tournament.
Isn't it amazing? Jose and Tony and
Tony Robles, yeah.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. You probably couldn't get a price on that Tony wouldn't make it to this round.
There were some big surprises here. I think it was, I believe, Nick Barner, Tony Robles, and Jose Garcia were 3 big names that people were shocked didn't make it through the round robin.
Or Jimmy Matias. So many people picked them to finish high in the standings.
No comment. Well, let's see if Engert can finish the job here.
It comes up higher than that ball. He got a good shot.
With Mika's situation, it just seems like one of those things where it's like Murphy's Law. He just can't. No matter what he does, how great a shot he makes, it's not going for him.
Yeah. I saw a game with Mizrak and Siegel once where everything Siegel did came out wrong. He scratched on break shots, he missed open shots. And Mizrak just engulfed him. He just ate him up.
Siegel played in round robin. He went undefeated, and he dominated most of his matches.
Yeah.
And then he made it to the double elimination last 32, and then
Lost both.
And I congratulate. I say, hey, you're playing great. This is good. Good for the fans. Your fans. And he goes, yeah, but it doesn't mean anything if I just lose my next 2 matches now, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. He lost 2 matches in a row.
Talk about a colossal talent. There's what a strong player he was.
You can see Mika's visibly frustrated right now.
Yeah.
He
knows
can't
he's
do too much.
done. No, he's done.
Yeah, he's
Nothing
beating
he can
himself
do
up,
about
but he
it.
really can't do much about that. He really the balls just sometimes just don't roll that extra inch for you, or that
Yeah.
extra millimeter sometimes.
Yeah.
And
He had to shoot that bank shot. And that's, he broke those balls all according to plan, that little cluster, and he got stuck. Nothing you can do about that. Okay, Mr. Clean just finished racking.
Oh.
Wow.
See, when I do that, a lot of times I scratch in a corner pocket.
Yeah. Some players.
Are just meant to do that.
Well, I guess so. Some players play to hit that back rail and hit it harder so they come back up.
Yeah.
Now, Nagy used to do that, and he said, yeah, I'll miss more and I'll scratch more, but I'll more often have open racks. That's a trade-off. Irving Crane would never hit a shot like that.
Yeah, I heard about him.
Or Ray Martin never hit a shot thinking to go up and down the table like that.
So there you go. Even the greats, the legendary greats, have big differences in opinions about style.
Oh, it's
how to play.
wonderful. It's what makes the game so colorful. And it's not a question of right or wrong. It's just a question of what you prefer, what you're successful with.
Well, at the beginning of this rack, Engert was 42 balls away from winning. And now, after this rack, if he gets through it, score will be 172. So he'll be like 2 racks away.
Mika didn't make anything. Yes, you're right. 2 racks exactly.
I'll tell you what, if Engert wins this match 220, that's something that nobody would have predicted.
Oh, no. Who would predict that Mika Immonen would get to 20 in a 200-point game? He'd be stalled at 20. There's no price that you can get on that. It's off the board.
That Mika would not run more than 2 racks,
Yeah.
less than 2 racks. Well, even if he doesn't win this match, he had a great tournament. He beat several great